Damm Brewery, Rossa Blanca.
Life is too short to be drinking shitty beer.
Welcome to another edition of Bands, Bikes and Booze Reviews. A little bit of a different one here today. Well, not really, because I've just put up the other Malaga beer, so there's a little bit of a Spanish thing going on. I know I did say I was going to redress the balance with British beer. I've got an order on with Beers of Europe. Hopefully it's coming tomorrow. And that's just full of British beer. But I have got a bottle of Hacker-Shaw Superior Fest beer, which in my opinion is the best Fest beer out there. It certainly was the last time I tried it. Is that still the case? I don't know. We will find out when I get it. This stuff though, mooching about in Morrison's the other day, and I saw this on the shelves and I was in two minds to get it because I didn't know what it was. For some reason I got it in my head it was a wheat beer, but it's not a wheat beer. It's a lager of some description, and it's a bit of a strange one because it's based, well, originally it was based in Mallorca, founded in 1927, as it says on the label, but they went bust in the 60s because they couldn't keep up with the competition because the tourist boom was taking off in Spain, and quite frankly they got left behind by the other bigger brewers and they went bust. But the Damm Brewery, who are based in Barcelona, if ever of you have had Estrella, Damm, that is, not Estrella Galicia, or Galicia, as they say. It is a beer that was, or a label that was taken over by Damm, and now they've started putting this out. And they're also doing the Malaga stuff, the stuff I reviewed recently, the Victoria Malaga beer as well. That's brewed by Damm, which is a little bit strange. They've got about 4 or 5 different lagers. Very, very odd. I don't know what they're trying to do. What they have done, which is surprising, they did it last year. I didn't know about this. This slipped under the radar. But they bought the Eagle Brewery in Bedford. So I'm pretty sure that's where this is brewed. And that doesn't bode well because that used to be owned by Carlsberg Marston's. And yeah, there was never really good beer that came out of there. That Bombardier was sort of the flagship from Wells Brewery, and I didn't think it was that great, to be honest. And when Marston's took it over, then yeah, I think it just went down the toilet further. But yeah, Bombardier was never a great beer, in my opinion, a great ale, I should say. I much prefer the Shepherd Neame Spitfire stuff that you'd usually see side by side. But yeah, I wasn't a big fan of it, to be fair. But this stuff, it was £2, and it was on a shelf. And I thought, shall I review it? And I thought, well, maybe there's people that are going to be buying this, so I thought I'll give it a go. And then I did the research into the ingredients, and quite frankly, I haven't got high hopes for this. I just want to know how bad it is. Now, Damm are quite a big brewer. They brew, as I say, Estrella, which is a big beer. That's quite prevalent in the north part of Spain, especially around Barcelona. That, and I think, what else was I? Well, I wasn't drinking it, but it was available. Cruz Campo was available the last time I was over in Barcelona. That would have been last year. But yeah, Estrella was everywhere. Everybody was drinking it. I did see San Miguel there as well, but it was mainly Estrella that everyone was drinking. And to be fair, it's not the worst beer in the world if there's nothing else, and it's really, really hot, which it was when I was out there. So I can see that it's got a place. But I'm baffled as to why they would have taken over or brought this out, and they do say that they're making big inroads into the UK market for some reason. So you're going to see a lot of this and a lot of that Victoria beer, I should say, Victoria Cerveza. I didn't know that they owned that as well. I thought they were independent, but I should have known better. If it's on the shelves in Morrison's, in Morrison's and Lidl's, then there's a little bit of a bigger organisation behind it. You've got to be on the sort of AB InBev level, which Damm, to be fair, I mean, they do, is it 18 million hectolitres a year? And they've got loads of different beers. I mean, they've got their own brands, but they've got other beers that I haven't heard of, very obscure beers. I don't know where they're from. But I did try the Damm Märzen. They do a Märzen, and it wasn't the worst beer in the world. Quite strong. Tried it at an airport. I think it was Barcelona airport, actually. And yeah, it wasn't too bad. So they're not the worst brewery in the world, but the alarm bells are ringing when I read about the Eagle Brewery, because I would imagine that they're possibly using the same suppliers, so same ingredients, possibly the same staff as well. So you kind of know what you're getting, but I reserve judgment. That's all I'm really going to say about this, because I want to get on to the next section, the ingredients. This is where the alarm bells are going to be ringing off the fucking wall. So let's get on to the next section. Now, this is a 660ml bottle, as was the Victoria beer. I didn't think much of that, to be honest. I just thought it was, yeah, it was cold. And that was it. This is 3.4%, so it is a weak lager. That's number one alarm bell. Number two, the ingredients. There's only one hop in here. Citra. Yeah. Why would you put Citra into a lager? That really isn't the kind of, in my opinion, the kind of hop that you want to put in there. And I would imagine it's either Citra pellets, which maybe aren't the worst thing in the world, or even worse, it's hop extract or hop oil, which again, if done not correctly, then yeah, it's going to not be great. Now, supposedly these are late addition hops. They're added while they're cold, so you're just getting the fruit, you're not getting the bitterness. I don't know about that, but I will wait to reserve judgment until I've tasted it. Here, again, more alarm bells. Yes, you've got barley malt in there, but they call these traditional ingredients. That's what it's billed as. If you look at if you look at the Rossa Blanca, which white rose, yeah. So white rose is Rossa Blanca in Spanish, but they're giving it the big and about traditional ingredients, right? So Citra hop, nah, not traditional. Barley malt, yes, barley malt is traditional. Maize, which is in that, no fucking way, Pedro. And it's got rice as well. They had rice in the other one as well, and yeah, I fucking despair when I see Western countries putting maize and fucking rice into beer. Why are you doing that? It's a cheap substitute, and it doesn't fucking go well with beers, in my opinion. When you see rice and maize in a beer, it just puts me off. And I don't think I've ever been proven wrong with that one. It's always not been a great beer. Budweiser use rice. Asahi lager uses rice. It's usually lagers or bottom fermented beers that use maize. Maize is prevalent in Mexican beer as well. So if you see the Sol and what's the other fucking abomination that they have? Oh, I don't know. Sol is definitely one of them. But they've got the other two, clear bottles in sunny countries with lager. I mean, that just tells you all you need to know. They're just banking on it going skunky and giving it its flavour. Fuck off. Oh, God. Is this going to be a rant? Why did I buy this? Oh, let's get it over with, because I'm just going to sit here and stew and fucking rant. So let's get it over and let's see what's going on. Right. I was hoping that Beers of Europe crate was going to turn up today, but sadly it hasn't. So you're going to have to wait for that one. But there is some fucking belters in there, some really good English beer, and I'm looking forward to it. Not going to give much away, but there is some Elgood's beer that I've been dying to try for ages. There's some Hook Norton in there too. So good stuff on the horizon. So as the old saying goes, to appreciate the smooth, you got to experience the rough. And I'm imagining this is going to be the rough. There it is in the glass. Quite yellow, golden yellow colour. A minimal amount of carbonation on the nose. Ugh. Oh, you can smell them Citra hops in there. Yeah. Very piney and nettly, as you can imagine from them American style hops. Yep. And I'm kind of, it's giving me flashbacks to when I used to review craft beer on the channel. I used to do the East Coast and the West Coast IPAs. And to be fair, I do like my East Coast IPAs every now and again. Got to be in the mood for it. But this has got elements of that. At least it's got some aroma. The hops are giving it some character, so I will say that. So there's a kind of a piney, grapefruity, citrusy type note to it, as the name would suggest. And that's about it really. The hops are really dominating on this, as you would expect. There's no real malt character because there's hardly any malt in it. It's got maize and fucking rice. I think this is just a cheap exercise. They packed it full of maize and rice, a little bit of malt, because they're all fermentable. Rice is fermentable, maize is fermentable, and barley is fermentable. And I think they put the Citra hop in there just to give it some flavour. Okay. Yeah, and that's it. Oh dear. All right, well, wish me luck. I'm going in. Bottoms up. That is weird. Dive in again. Yeah. So you've got quite a big seam of lemon on that, and then there's none of that harsh bitterness that you get with West Coast IPAs. So the alpha acids in this are minimal. This is a late addition hop. I don't think there's any bittering hops in here, not from what I've read. I imagine there is some bittering going on. I don't know what they've used for the bittering hops, but yeah, the flavours of the Citra hop are there. They're not massive, and it's giving it just enough character to be flavoursome, if you know what I mean. There was a slight malty finish on it, but it didn't last long. This is all about the grapefruit and citrus on it. And there's someone at the door. Don't know who that is. Probably the missus testing the doorbell. The dogs broke the fucking doorbell. They broke the plug. It was probably Percy with his fat ass. Listen, there's no one at the door, dickhead. That's Percy, by the way. I'm not talking to myself. Come here, knockjob. This is Percy, by the way, in case you didn't know. What do you think of that, Percy? He's not impressed. He's not impressed, are you, mate? Don't give dogs beer. It's not good for them. He'll go straight for them. They're allergic to hops. Stop being nosy, you little git. I'm not sure about this. It's not as bad as I thought it was going to be. But its saving grace is that very, very slight Citra note that they've put on it. It's given it quite a lemony flavour. 3.4%, very sessionable. Jesus Christ, Percy, you weigh an effing ton. I have to put you down on the floor, mate, on your legs, because you're fucking killing me, mate. To be honest, I'm not even going to say it's okay. I seriously don't know why they've done this. And it's starting to get a little bit not nice. Well, not it's not nice, but it's just bland and boring compared to other good beers. Now, if you're going to be drinking this in the real hot weather, then I imagine this is going to be nice. It's going to be refreshing. If you're going to be eating this with food, twat. If you're going to be drinking this with food, then yeah, ice cold. You're not going to taste anything. For me though, I really don't see the point, to be honest. It's got a hop that isn't traditional in lager. It's got cheap ingredients, maize. Honestly, if this is brewed over here and they've put maize and fucking rice in it, this is what annoys me. There's no need for that. We live in a country where malt and barley grow in abundance, and the best malt and barley is just down the fucking road from Bedford. You just turn fucking right, go a few miles, and you're in Norfolk and Suffolk, where you get the best malt in the country. And they don't bother. They put a little bit in there, and they put maize and they put rice. So it's a cost-cutting exercise, I think. And it's £2 a bottle, for 660ml. If you want quantity over quality, then fill your boots. It's £2. Give it to people you don't like. That's what I would do. I would put that in the fridge, leave it ice, make sure it's ice cold, give it to them on a summer's day, say, I'll get that Daniel Gregory, and I'll have all my German beer. Just drinking that, tell them you wouldn't like this stuff, I'll just give you that. But yeah, it would have to be ice cold, and I would imagine as it goes down a little bit further, they ain't going to like it. So yeah, I'm not impressed with this, to be honest. This is just an exercise in corner cutting. Don't believe the hype when they say traditional ingredients, because it ain't. And yeah, not really impressed. So what's the verdict on Damm Rossa Blanca? Well, 660ml, 3.4%, £2. Barley, rice and maize with Citra hops. What a fucking catastrophe. Now, as I said, if it was ice cold, then you're not going to taste anything. It's probably refreshing. As far as flavour goes, look at that, there's hardly any carbonation in that at all. As far as flavour goes, it's all over the fucking place. It's got a weak hop profile the more I drink it. And I don't know why they've done it, to be honest. I really don't. 3.4%, I suppose you could session it. So if you want to, I don't know. I'm not encouraging anybody to drink and drive, but if you've got an early start the next day, then yeah, this is a low ABV beer, which I suppose is okay. But you wouldn't want to make a habit of drinking this shit. It's fucking just it annoys me, because this shit is being served up to people cheap and nasty, £2. It is just an exercise in cost cutting. And Damm are saying they want to make inroads, yeah, because they must think we're fucking stupid buying shit like this, just serving up shit lager. And this is a prime example of the shit that we're served up. And yeah, and if we buy it, then they'll keep making it. So yeah, I've bought one. I will never buy it again. If I do buy it again, it will not be for my consumption. It will be for someone I don't like. And yeah, if I don't know what they're trying to do with the Citra hops. That's not traditional. I'm fucking almost certain, well, I know for a fact, they weren't using Citra hops when they were brewing this circa 1927 or 28 or whenever they were founded. And no, that's it. I'm not going to have any more. Yeah, I don't know why people would sort of make a habit of buying this. It's not going to be to their taste. That Citra hop is really out of place, if you know what I mean. And yeah, I'm not a fan, to be honest. I'm not going to throw it down the sink. Will I finish it? Yeah, I probably will finish it, and that'll be it. That'll be never again to pass my lips. I'm going to give that a 4 out of 10. That's about all it's worth. Not really impressed. Wouldn't recommend it. Ingredients are just, yeah, they're what I call piss-taking ingredients. Not really impressed, to be honest. So I'm going to give it a 4 out of 10. Not recommending it. And if you like it, fucking fill your boots. But if you see it on the shelves of a supermarket, just look at what else they've got. And if they've got, I don't know, something like Warsteiner, I know that's not a great example of German beer, but it's certainly got more character and more flavour than this stuff will ever have. So there you go. So 4 out of 10, not recommended. And remember, I'm drinking this shit, so you don't have to.